Falcons hire new defensive assistants, and we talk about the Super Bowl matchup. Hop into the bird bath. Oh, and I almost forgot. Saints still don't have a head coach because nobody wants to coach there. Tap it in with the player partner J-Bo again, man. So, yeah, a lot of fans have had some mixed opinions about the Falcons' new hires with their defensive assistants. And I know you don't really know some of those guys or whatever. We was just talking about how it matters about not only the X's and O's, but those, the Jims and the Joes.
We can talk scheme and all that, but you need dudes, right? You got to have, so we call them war daddies. I'm sure you heard that term. How do you try to, use what you have in your scheme and try to input to go get some of these war daddies? Because I heard earlier, your number one priority, you got to affect the quarterback.
Absolutely. Like, great defenses have great players. I don't want to get it twisted and think that I'm some magical coach that can, that can make something out of nothing. And fortunately, we're not in the place of having nothing.
I keep hearing about this linebacker out of New York from the Jets that played with Ulbrich before. He really likes those smaller linebackers. We were talking about how he recruited Roquan Smith to UCLA before he came to the Falcons before. And when he took the Falcons job, UGA wound up picking him up instead, and he wound up going there. But he liked Roquan because he was actually an undersized linebacker as well, too, before they beefed him up. You think they're going to go with defensive line in the draft. You like the kid out of Michigan, right?
Yeah. I really do. The league, slowly but surely, getting back to running the ball, as you see, it's a copycat league in the NFL. And I think a lot of teams and a lot of franchises are looking at these playoff games and the success that these playoff teams are having with the run. And I think a lot of teams going to try to go back to the run a little bit. So you got to get stout in that middle. You got to get stout in the middle. You got to get stout up front. You can't keep relying on your linebackers. Can't keep relying on your cornerbacks every run play. When you go get a push from your front four, and that's what the problem that the Falcons had this year. They was a little bit too light. Grady lost a couple of steps, and it was a debacle. Y'all did get it together. The last 4 or 5 games of the season?
Yeah, started picking up more sacks.
Yeah, and then another dramatic fall off, another mystery. The defense playing good. Y'all didn't get no sacks first half of the season. Then, the middle part of the season, y'all had about 10 sacks in 2 games, 3 games? Y'all had started turning it up a little bit.
It was crazy, man. I think Raheem taking over helped out a lot with that. We played a little bit more of an attack-style defense down the stretch, and I think that's going to be real good with Jeff Ulbrich. I think we're going to need guys who could two-gap more, but we're going to need guys that can also shoot and play fast and that can play versatile ball. When you look at a team like the Rams, for example, they list their scheme as a 3-4, but just like UGA, almost every down they have 4 guys with their hand in the dirt. And then when they go to nickel, as we said, a lot of teams are nickel like 60-something% of the time. They're taking their 2, 3, 4 defensive end guys and moving them as 4-3 defensive tackles. Yeah,
like a hybrid
type guy. So you need guys that's gonna be like 290. Almost close to 300. That's why I think Rook is gonna be a really nice addition next year, or it's gonna take a next step next year, and he can basically replace a lot of what we do with Grady and maybe upgrade and add some other things. But Ulbrich likes to do that to keep his linebackers free, so that they can roam. But we definitely going to have to add some guys if we're switching to that 4-3.
Yeah, most definitely.
Ultimately, I love what he talked about, how you can't stay stagnant anymore as far as defense.
Yeah.
You got to be mobile. That's why my first question to him was about the base 4-3 and the 4-3 and how everybody want to keep throwing that out. That's done.
Right.
It's done. And now you look at it, that's why they changed the position to edge now.
All the teams in the playoffs right now are a good litmus test for Falcons fans to see how you want to kind of build out your roster a little bit and what your philosophy and identity needs to be. As good as Patrick Mahomes is, they run that ball. Baltimore is running that ball. And we saw Buffalo probably lost this game because they didn't run the ball a little bit more, because they came out and ran the ball against teams that were good at stopping the run. And that hurt them. And you want to be able to build your team with some interior guys and be able to have a platoon of them. And you want to be able to play some positionless ball. We was talking about that as well earlier too, and like with the Falcons he do, but also Pagano back with the NASCAR stuff that he was doing with those Giants before too. You had like 4 edge guys that could do a lot of versatile things. You know what I'm saying? Having Justin Tuck out there, being able to be such a versatile, you Manora. Yeah, so you got to be able to play positionless ball and have guys that can do multiple things. So I think that we're gonna need us to have about 3 or 4 linebackers that can do some different things or whatever. So I wouldn't be mad to see Javon Walker, but do you think he'll be there at 15?
Yeah.
You think he'll be there at 15?
Yeah. He'll be there.
Would you rather have Javon Walker or the boy out of Michigan, interior guy of Michigan?
Javon Walker. I'd rather have Javon Walker.
Yeah, if he could if that could translate to the NFL.
Yeah, I got to have Javon Walker, man. The league is changing, C-Mo. We looking at it change again.
Yeah,
it's hard to stop the running back, and it's hard to stop the quarterback every damn play, man. That RPO is killing. Hey, that RPO is killing all these defenses, dog. These running quarterbacks with 2 decent running backs, that's starting to be the formula. It's a great time to be a black quarterback these days. It's a great time to be a black quarterback. It's a great time. It's a great time. What these organizations are seeing with Jane Daniels, hey man, now they saying that Cam Ward might be the best one coming out of this draft other than Shador, which I think Shador is a pure passer.
Definitely.
So
how do you think you can stop that RPO?
Kind of the nuts and bolts of what an RPO really is. Bubble slant. Run a slant here. We run a bubble slant up top. On this particular play, we're going to try to run an inside zone play. From a blocking standpoint, we got enough hats for hats, and we're just sort of double teaming our way up inside zone, giving the ball carrier the ball. Quarterback is going to read that linebacker. He's going to see where he is. So in this particular configuration, he's kind of in this A gap area, what we call the A gap, A, B, C, D outside.
He'd be the Mike linebacker, Doug.
Yeah, in that situation. So we know as a quarterback, this safety is going to fill, right? Somebody has to take this spot right here. So what we know is we're going to get rotation to the front side. So the quarterbacks know that pre-snap. So now the quarterback has to read this guy and make a determination. Is it a 7-man box or is it still a 6-man box? So we know as a quarterback, this safety is going to fill, right? Somebody has to take this spot right here. So what we know is we're going to get rotation to the front side. So the quarterbacks know that pre-snap. So now the quarterback has to read this guy and make a determination. Is it a 7-man box or is it still a 6-man box? If it stays a 6-man box, right, 6 guys, 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers, then it becomes a give. Quarterback will give it all down. Just hat for hat, and let's go.
Wentz takes the snap, gives off to Matthew.
Now let's say this safety's all the way down in the box. This safety's now in the middle of the field. Now we have the numbers we want to take advantage of the throw. If he settles and they play zone, we'll throw it, right? If he attacks right here, then we're gonna throw the slant in behind.
Jaden Daniels, what makes him so good, it's almost like what Michael Vick would do in Atlanta, except he's such a better pocket passer. He's a lot more accurate. I think you need linebackers and defensive backs that can do it. That can spy those guys, and you got to have a lot of discipline too.
It's it's a lot of discipline because that's why it's so hard to stop in short yardage, 3 and 3, 3rd and 4. You have so many options. I mean, pick your poison. You got your running back, you got your quarterback. The quarterback can keep it, the quarterback can hand it off, or he has the option to roll out with the running back and the tight end flying out. Then you might have another receiver with a flag or a corner post in the corner. Then you like, damn, I mean, what do you do? And they only need 3 yards, and you can't blow the quarterback up no more. So
Yeah.
I mean, hey, you can if they running, as long as it's not Patrick Mahomes.
man, yeah, man. But you can't even if you hear the quarterback textbook, they're gonna throw the flag. You know that.
Yeah.
Hey, so we was talking about this too. I think that's partially why these quarterbacks are throwing for so much more than they ever did before.
They're comfortable.
Yeah, they comfortable. They don't got to worry about a guy coming from that back or a guy taking out their knees. They can just sit around and run in that pocket all day.
You can't put your weight on them no more.
Right. You can't do anything anymore. It does make it very hard to stop a lot of. And then these guys are big too. Yeah. Even Jane Daniels ain't small.
They dealing more punishment to the defender than the defender doing to them.
Right. Lamar Jackson finishing off runs with his helmet in your chest, man.
Right.
Josh Allen is like a. I mean, shoot, we just see. I don't know what this show is, but Cam Newton is he's going to do a special forces obstacles with people. It jumped out of a boat and grabbed a helicopter and pulled himself up while it was lifted. I don't know if anybody else on there did that, but that's crazy, man. Like.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Cam is a big dude, man. I see Cam a lot. His people don't stay too far from me, and it's a convenience store that I go to a lot, and he comes in there a lot, man. Cam's a big dude, dog.
Bruh.
So you can only imagine when he put on his shoulder pads and padded up, he's even bigger.
Cam Newton came to dap up Golden Tate. I don't know if he gut checked him on purpose or not, but it was fun. The way he looked at him, down at him, he was like, "Why did you do that?" He's like, I was trying to dap him up, and he's there looking at him like he's all diabolical. Like, yo, Cam Newton needs to be the villain, bro. He was born to play a villain in a movie, man. So as we were talking about earlier, with Philly, a lot of people credit that front seven with all those UGA players, but as we were saying. As we were talking about, I think that Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell have been really huge for them. They allowed them to play zone. They allowed them to play man. They can rush you with 4, or they can blitz you, and they can get there just as quick. Either way, because of the versatility that they have on all 3 levels. They got linebackers that can tackle and somewhat cover a little bit. Nobody has any just glaring gaps. Their cornerbacks, they'll peak in the backfield, but they'll come up and stick you on the run, but they also are disciplined enough to kind of fall back and make sure that they're playing discipline in their zones. They can run stuff like cover 6, where DeJean is covering that flat and then going with that vertical route if it turns into something vertical and runs with them.
With the personnel that they have the perfect defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
With Fangio down there, they got a good defense coordinator that can turn things around, that can hide stuff. Even when he was with my Broncos,
right.
I mean, our Broncos had a pretty good defense. We just couldn't score. Offense, not having a quarterback kind of got him out of Denver kind of fast, but he's in the perfect spot in Philly, man, because he can do a lot of stuff with the ball. And then what makes it better is they run the ball and they play good defense. That's the perfect formula for a ring. When you down, when the opposing team is down, and you have to battle back, you have to throw the ball.
Agreed.
You have to. And the offense plays it to the hand. I can do so much with rushing for defensive linemen. You can do so much. You can hide so much. You can disguise so many blitzes. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised Philly is in the Super Bowl, but I still think the Rams had them. Rams had them, man. I think the Rams had them. Rams had them, man. Rams had them.
I really expected the Rams to win that game.
Yeah, I did, man. I blame it on the snow. I blame it on the snow and Jalen Carter.
Hey, Jalen Carter been a beast now. I mean, he definitely is and I don't want to take anything away from people that are getting upset about, you know, us drafting Bijan and saying how good Jalen Carter has been because he's second team All Pro. But, you know, Philly is as good as it is, and the catalyst of that team is Saquon Barkley, man. Like, it don't matter. If you could put Kendall Gainwell, or you could replace some. Hell, they had a serviceable running back last year who was pretty solid. Because people think you could just grab any old running back and put them anywhere, but nobody is. There's only one or two running backs who could do what Saquon Barkley does, and I know the Giants got to be kicking themselves in the butt right now. Like, quarterbacks matter, but nah, he better be a dude if he can't do what Saquon does. Because if you don't have Saquon on that team, I don't think they win that game.
Yeah, you're right. And but if Saquon stays in New York, it'll be all for nothing. He'll just be a great player on a bad team.
Right.
So everything worked. Yeah, so everything worked out for the best, man.
not for the Giants, but for the Eagles, yeah, definitely. And for Saquon.
Yeah, for Saquon.
Yeah, because I think the Giants knew that they would go stink, and they would go stink for a long time. And I think they said, man, look, just going to test the market, like, you know, like your boy said on the phone, you know, go out there and test the market. And I know Saquon like, oh, y'all don't want me? Okay, I'll test the market and see what I can get. But I think because of the fact that the Giants knew that, you know, if he was going to stay in New York, it still wasn't going to be good. They needed to rebuild. And one of those rebuilds was getting rid of Saquon. And it still hadn't worked. So, you know, I don't know what they'll do in the draft as far as getting your boy Ward or Shador. But I think it was best for both franchises, you know, for Philly and New York. I think New York just had to let them go. Me as a GM, I don't know what the Giants was thinking, but the only thing that I can think of is them just saying, man, look, we ain't good. And Saquon is a Hall of Fame running back. Just let him go.
I think they thought Daniel Jones was going to actually be a good quarterback. I don't know what possessed them to think that, but
Daniel Jones is not a bad quarterback, but he's not a franchise quarterback. And especially in New York, you know, he had one good year? Well, that was Brian Daboll first year? Second year? So, you know,
Right.
I mean, it is what it is. Quarterback is a harder position in sports.
right. So, what's your thoughts on the Bills and the Chiefs game? I actually thought that the Bills had a chance to pull that out. Now, the Bills, they act like they didn't want to run the ball early. They came back out after the second half, and it turned into a totally different ball game down the stretch with that. But they also – go ahead. My bad.
I'm going to put it like this, Simo. I'm going to put it like this. And I put this post on Facebook earlier, not too long after the game was over with. Josh Allen is the new Peyton Manning. He for some reason, he cannot beat Mahomes. He cannot beat him. And he plays perfect. No turnovers. I'm talking about literally balling. I mean, think about it. Last year, all the dude had to do was kick a field goal, and they win. He misses it. This year, all Kincaid has to do is catch the ball. That's all Kincaid had to do was catch the ball.
I would not say Josh Allen. Josh Allen was not perfect, though. He threw a few near interceptions. Yeah, man.
Most quarterbacks that have games like this, most quarterbacks that have games like Josh Allen has in the previous playoff games this season, they win. They win the game. But they don't play. It's Mahomes, bro. It's Mahomes.
You got to talk about Mahomes in the same breath in the category as Jordan at this point.
Yeah, you have to, because think about it. What are the two quarterbacks in the league that had almost perfect games against Mahomes and still lost?
Right.
Can you tell me? It's only two.
Who?
Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Jalen Hurts. I thought you
Jalen
meant
Hurts,
this year.
he had one incompletion to it. Jalen Hurts played perfect. Any quarterback in the Super Bowl that plays that well as Jalen Hurts played win the ball game. He still lost because it's Mahomes. It's just it's the Jordan factor. It's just him.
I mean, I think that Jalen Hurts can't make some of those plays that Mahomes can make. And I mean, that just kind of, Philly, didn't it come down to a fumble or something with somebody in that game?
I can't.
Yeah, I can't remember how that Super Bowl went. I remember it was some other stuff that happened too. But see, one thing that happens when you play when you play those Chiefs, I mean, you got the defensive side with Spag coming with crazy stuff, and then Andy Reid is one of the best coaches to ever do it. Belichick said that's the hardest coach that he's ever had to coach against. So he's one of the greatest coaches ever too. So sometimes, even though these other coaches are coaching a good game, they're not coaching a great game. They're just getting out coached a little bit as well too. Like I said, the Bills, they should have started out the game running the ball a little bit, running that ball a little bit more.
Did the whole game. And Josh Allen, yeah, they did stop Josh Allen on a couple 4th and inches plays like that. But I saw the whole game. Man, this was Josh Allen game again. This was Josh Allen. When you play the Kansas City Chiefs, every mistake, every penalty is magnified. You can't make mistakes against Kansas City.
You definitely can't, man. It looked like the refs were really definitely trying to give them a lot of those calls. So I'm not mad at some of these people when they question if it being rigged, and that's kind of why I wanted to see the Bills win. But you definitely can't make those mistakes, and you can't let them score over 30. Like this was only, they were saying that on the cast that other teams have been holding them beneath 30, and that would have been their thing to do. That's what I said, man. And that Chiefs team was, again, I go back to it, they were really coached up. They knew all of their tendencies. They knew how they liked to sneak it. Like you said, they stopped them on a lot of those sneaks. They knew exactly down to the T how they were going to do some of the stuff that they were going to do. And you got to really take credit off to coaching in those type of instances. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, Spag's been around. Spag's been around a long time. I mean, a very long time. He's played some of the best teams out there. I mean, he was the one that brought in the NASCAR package with the Giants back in the day.
Right.
Yeah, what they call it, the old ninja defense. When everybody, it gave Brady fits. Spag's been there. Spag's know what to do. But as I said, I saw the game. Josh Allen did play good. He still was driving the ball. He still was dragging defenders. Cook, they did shy away from Cook. Cook was the hot man at the time. But just like the Kansas City Chiefs and Buffalo Bills game, it was a battle.
Yeah.
It came down to who go make the mistake. And Kincaid dropped that ball, bro.
Yeah, true.
Last year, it came down again. All Buffalo needed to do was kick a field goal, and they off. And look what happened. I mean, I feel bad for Josh Allen, but sometimes he he put the team on his back, and somebody still messes it up. But hey.
Hey, listen, like I said, he could have been the guy that messed it up too. He was very fortunate in a few of those other turnovers. And didn't he recover his own fumble too?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? He had a couple near interceptions. Like, and me and Kev was talking about this earlier, man. Josh Allen is a 1-2 read and go guy a lot of the times too. He's not throwing to his dump downs the way that he could and checking down and just sitting into that last minute sometimes.
Well, he can get away with a lot of stuff because of his arm strength.
Yeah. Yeah, he fits some things definitely to some tight spots.
Yeah.
But he needs to take that next level, that leap to that next level. I feel like Lamar has taken a bigger leap in playing the quarterback position than him. Just for real.
Both of them, I think both of them has taken greater leaps, real big leaps, because of one thing. They stopped turning the ball over.
Absolutely.
Josh Allen is Josh Allen today because he stopped turning the ball over.
Agree. Yeah,
It just simply
KB
Jaden Daniels, Josh Allen, all of them, they do not turn the ball over.
No, they didn't. But the turnover on downs was the difference between that game. And you got to be able to convert in those crucial moments. And that's that's a combination of the players and the coaching, And I think on this, just looking at that, like Mahomes is better than, I think that the gap, I don't even think that's a good fair comparison because Manning might have been a better, like just cerebral, better quarterback than Brady was. As good as Brady was, as cerebral as Brady was, and Manning was a gunslinger that really just could do, like he could read them, pick you apart that way. And I don't think that Josh Allen is. I think that Mahomes is a better quarterback than Josh Allen in every.
Oh hell yeah!
Stretch of it, man.
Yeah.
Wait, like
I'm talking about the best quarterback to ever do. I know I asked last week, is Lamar Jackson the best the best player in the league? But yeah, Mahomes is the best quarterback I've ever seen. Mahomes is where Aaron Rodgers was supposed to be.
Man, let me tell you something. I knew Patrick Mahomes was the man last season, because Kansas City was not good last year.
right.
Kansas City was not good last year, and they still won the Super Bowl, man.
Right.
You cannot bet against Mahomes, man. He just has a feel for the game.
Right.
A lot of quarterbacks can quarterback. You know what I'm saying? A lot of quarterbacks can read defenses. A lot of quarterbacks got arm strength, can get out of this. He just has a feel for the game, Simo.
Right.
A lot of people just don't have it, bro. He just got a feel for the game. Plus, he can make all the throws because, he's an ex-former baseball player,
Right. That's
former
helpful.
baseball players make the best quarterbacks.
So let's talk a little bit about the Super Bowl matchup. Who you got winning that one? Because I don't want to really root for either one of them. I mean, I'm not an anti-Mahomes fan, but I'm not trying to see Philly necessarily get them one either. Another one.
I got Kansas City.
Right. I mean, I think Philly can win, but I got Kansas City too. I think Philly can run the ball on them.
Philly will run the ball on them. But Spaz got some for them. And this is the matchup that I want to see. Because, at our age, we look at football a little different now, So I want to see this Spags and I want to see this Kellen Moore battle. That's what I want to see.
Okay.
I want to see it's gonna be checkers and chess.
Yeah.
It's gonna be both. It's gonna be both. It's gonna be checkers and chess. I want to see this matchup. I want to see what Spags got to slow Saquon down. Not stop him, just slow him down,
Yeah.
So Jalen Hurts is definitely going to have to make some key throws and key reads. And he can't get hurt this game. They definitely going to try to tag him. I think that having Saquon back there makes it a lot harder on some of the things that they can do because of what Saquon can do and how he can do some of the things he does. Their line is really good, for sure. There's no getting around that. But then Saquon actually knows what to do and reads he reads his blocks and sets his blocks up phenomenally. I think they're gonna need A.J. Brown to have a big game. I think the Spags is gonna force Jalen Hurts to make some plays and for A.J. Brown to have to or their other guys to make some plays for them. And Jalen Hurts is gonna have to play mistake-free ball. I think that they're not gonna be afraid to blitz, and they're gonna be exotic with it, and they're probably gonna switch it up on you.
From what I saw today, he actually shied away from making he actually kind of shied away to, from making those small window throws. I noticed when he was under pressure a lot, he just threw it away. He just throwing it out of bounds. Just throw it out of bounds. Reset. He played. I was kind of impressed. He played under control. He didn't try to do too much. He handed the ball off a little bit. He did get the receivers involved. This game, everybody was happy.
Right.
Everybody was happy. Plus, they scored 55 points in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
So they was working on all cylinders. They was working on all cylinders tonight, buddy.
Do you think they have the players to stop that Russian attack? That the Kansas City Chiefs have the players to stop that Russian attack?
They don't.
And do you think? What do you think the Eagles are going to be able to do with those Chiefs?
Well, what's going to happen is, I'm pretty sure what Andy Reid going to do, he's going to play a lot of horizontal ball. He's going to play a lot of horizontal ball, a lot of screen passes, a lot of flare passes, a lot of running the ball, because the best defense is your offense.
Yeah.
I think they're going to try to keep Saquon off the field.
I agree.
Time of possession will be key.
I think
the Super Bowl.
Hey, I noticed that too. As the playoffs have kind of gone on a little bit more, they've gotten a little bit more into their power running game. The Chiefs have definitely got, and they're really loving Kareem Hunt coming back there. Kareem Hunt, they really liking him coming. And I haven't followed them that much this year. I know earlier Pacheco had got hurt. What's been going? Did Kareem Hunt just take that position and just run away with it? Because Pacheco they're not splitting carries.
Well, Pacheco is back and he's getting strong about a game. But he got 2 or 3 steel rods in his leg.
Yeah.
But him and Kareem Hunt had 2 big plays.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt had the game-winning first down, and right before that was Pacheco. I'm talking about obliterated somebody on the sideline for the first down to keep the chains moving in order for Kareem Hunt to get that first down.
Wait, I thought that was P. Ryan. P. Ryan that had that game-winning first down. That you talking about that very last catch that sealed it all?
Was that P. Ryan? Was that Kareem?
I thought that was P. Ryan. Yeah, that was P. Ryan.
That was P. Ryan. Yeah, that was P. Ryan. That was Pacheco who obliterated the dude before the P. Ryan catch.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. But Kareem Hunt had what? How many yards did he have today? Did he?
Don't get me lying to you, man.
I want to say he had.
I didn't look at the yards.
Listen, they was able to move the ball as they wanted to, and they had Kelsey out there, lead blocker for your boy Mahomes on power, on the quarterback power, and
right.
Yeah, man.
Right.
That's crazy.
They gave Kareem Hunt. He had 17 touches for 64 yards.
It's gonna be interesting, man. I think definitely Philly is gonna have to do something other than running jet sweeps with with Dallas Goedert, man. Like, cause Spags ain't gonna go out like that.
Well, you know, I just think Kellen Winslow. I said Kellen Winslow. I, I
Think he killing
I
Winslow.
think Kellen Moore was just in his bag tonight. He
Facts.
was in his bag. He
Right.
was in his bag. I think he opened up the playbook a little bit too wide tonight, but they was in their bag.
Hey, listen, they put it on tape. You got to plan for it. It's on tape.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So if ever there was a time, this is when you bring it out. But you got the season coming up with baseball as well too, right?
Yeah. We officially start tomorrow, man.
Okay.
We officially start tomorrow, man. So we'll be having the APS tournament coming up in February. Hopefully the weather holds up. I'm still gonna shoot you that schedule, so maybe you can come out, show your support. And also we'll be traveling to Baton Rouge
Yeah.
in April
Ooh.
for a couple of games down there, man. So we looking to do some big things this spring, so be room for us.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Make sure you give me that schedule for sure, man, so we can post it and people can support and check out the team, man. So,
You know it.
hey, if you guys love what we're doing at Point Game Official and you made it this far, please, respectfully, hit that like and subscribe. Small thing for you guys, but huge for us. Point Game Official, Falcons Bird Bath. Checking out, baby. Peace.